Hey folks, this is Vince with Ads Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly check out Industry Giant 4.0. This is a game that you can find on Steam's Early Access program for about 25 bucks or so. I stress early access, that means everything that you're about to see is subject to change. Now, I know this is early access, but it really felt more like a tech demo because there's not a whole lot in this game right now. And there are a number of different things that really irked me. There are a couple of scenarios that you can pick between. It's great. As far as like custom setting up your game, the only thing you can customize is difficulty and start budget. There's also sales prices as well. So the ability to like custom make your own maps and, define what kind of city sizes you're going to get. And like, I feel like Train Fever and Transport Fever had better setup options than this game currently does. So getting on that point, the whole logistics of this game is you look at a city, see what it demands, and then produce those things and then set up the transport between the two. And I'll admit, it's been 20 plus years since I've played an Industry Giant game. I had something, I think, a long time ago, but I don't remember which game it was, and it was very it was very pixelated, let me just say. But yeah, that's what you're doing. And the art and the style of this game and the way you set up transport lines, again, I got those Transport Fever vibes. So like I kind of knew what I was already doing because I had played Transport Fever and Train Fever. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It didn't feel like it didn't feel like an Industry Giant game. It felt more like a Transport Fever kind of game, which again has been out for a while now. Now, this game right now is just, like I said, bare bones, and there's a lot of things that I don't like about it. For example, like I felt like the maps were too small. I tried different scenarios out, and it seemed like it just everything was so small, and the optimization was really bad. I had everything on like medium graphic settings, and like everything in the background on my computer was chugging. And I'm like, well, I mean, this is early access, I get that, but, it's not very well optimized right now. And for this being an Industry Giant game, I kind of expected, like, more statistics, I guess. Like, I guess I expected more numbers, and I didn't really see that. I was just setting up lines and letting things play out. I didn't get to see, like, inputs and consumptions and different things like that. Also, roads were a bit weird. Again, kind of like in Transport Fever and Train Fever, you kind of have to do short segments so that your roads don't go all like inside the land or create bridges where you don't want them. So I was used to that again from my experience with Transport Fever. I apologize, I'm using that comparison a lot, but that's what I felt like I was playing at this point. There's also, like I said, it's just very little in the way of content. I only saw a few trucks and a few trains. I didn't see a wide variety of different vehicles that you could currently hire so that you could transport things. And there's also a problem with the tutorial, I think. It'll take you step by step through it, but there's a part where, like, you're tasked with getting so much fruit or whatever in storage, and whenever you're setting up a line, it defaults it to 100 fruit. And what happens is the depot will automatically send trucks out for you based on that number. So by default, it's like 100, so it only typically sends out one truck. Even though you've got 11 trucks in your depot, it's like, well, you only need 100, so I'll send one truck out, fine. But I wasn't completing the tutorial, and I didn't know how to like change it as a first-time player. So I had to go into the line, I had to edit the number of like items that were picked up, dropped off, that kind of thing. And finally I said, okay, so the more of this number I increase, the more trucks that go out and do the thing. But that wasn't really explained in the tutorial. So that was more something I had to learn on the fly. And I think that's super important because like that's a major logistics part of the game is, I had 11 trucks, but I only utilized 12% of them. So I was like, okay, so how do I assign more trucks to a line than just the one? No, here I had to up how much I wanted transported, and then more trucks would fill in the need. So that was an interesting learning experience. I just wish that was explained better. Also, like during the tutorial, like I had to like follow it to the letter. I was via one line setting up a chain between like three different buildings, but no, that wasn't good enough. I had to create a separate production line for like one thing. So I had wood into shavings, and then shavings were sent to town. I tried setting that up into one line, but the tutorial didn't like that, so I had to create two separate lines, which I felt was just a waste. Just stuff like that. So what I do like though is that there is quite a bit of different things like construction lines that you can make. There's farms and coal mines, copper mines, iron mines, food, logging camps, oil wells. So there's quite a bit of different things going on there. But again, I feel like there are other games of this genre that currently do it better. So my advice to you is wait a bit. Let it get optimized, let it get more content added to the game before you start getting into it. Because as of right now, it's not the industry giant that I grew up with, to be fair. So I unfortunately can't recommend it for right now, but I'm hoping that down the line, once it exits early access, once more stuff gets added, once more optimization happens, maybe make bigger maps on top of that, then I can see the $25, price tag. But for right now, I feel like $25 is a bit steep for this, what feels like a tech demo. So there you go, folks. Industry Giant 4. This is Vince. Thanks for watching. Catch y'all next time. Take care.